What if I told you a 19-year-old student from Australia took on a $300 billion industry and won? An idea born in a tiny apartment turned into a $40 billion design empire used by over 100 million people worldwide. And it all started because one girl thought graphic design was way too hard. This is the story of how an ordinary student with no coding skills and no connection built one of the most powerful design platforms in the world. Welcome to Techno Tales, where tech legends come to life. And today's legend, Canva, the tool that made graphic design simple and changed the creative world forever. It's 2007, Perth, Australia. A 19-year-old university student named Melanie Perkins is teaching graphic design to her classmates. And something about it frustrates her. She sees her fellow students struggling to use complicated tools like Adobe Photoshop and InDesign. The learning curve is steep, the software is expensive, and making even the simplest design feels impossible. Melanie keeps asking herself one question: why does design have to be so hard? And that single question sparks an idea that will change everything. What if anyone, anywhere, could create beautiful designs with no experience, no special trainings, and no stress? Melanie knew the problem, but how would she solve it? She teamed up with her boyfriend, Cliff Obrecht. Together they had no money, no connections, and zero experience in startups. But they had an idea, and they had grit. They decided to start small, very small. Their first project? An online platform for schools to design their own yearbooks. No graphic designers, no fancy software, just drag, drop, and done. They called it Fusion Books. At first, they launched in their home city of Perth, and to their surprise, schools loved it. It was easy to use, it saved time, and it worked. Soon, Fusion Books became the biggest yearbook company in Australia. But Melanie and Cliff had a much bigger dream. They wanted to democratize design, not just for schools, for everyone. They imagined a platform where anyone could create anything: logos, presentations, business cards, social media posts, without needing to hire a designer. But to build something that big, they needed help and funding. In 2011, they took a leap of faith. They packed their bags and flew to Silicon Valley. It was a bold move and a risky one. They were two young Aussies, pitching a big idea to the world's toughest investors. And they got rejected over and over and over again. More than 100 times. You're too young. You're not from Silicon Valley. This will never work. But Melanie refused to give up. Then, a breakthrough. She met Bill Tai, a legendary Silicon Valley investor. He believed in her vision. But there was a catch. Bill Tai wasn't just an investor, he was a kitesurfing fanatic. And he only made deals with people who kitesurfed with him. So Melanie learned how to kitesurf. She hit the waves and networked with investors and tech elites while balancing on a board. It sounds crazy, but it worked. Bill Tai introduced Melanie to tech experts who could make her vision real. One of them was Cameron Adams, a former Google engineer. Cameron became Canva's third co-founder and their chief product officer. With a killer team in place, they were ready. In 2013, Canva was born. A sleek, simple, and powerful online design tool. Drag and drop. Instant templates. For the first time, design was easy. The response was explosive. Within the first year, Canva had 750,000 users, and it didn't stop there. They added more templates, more photos, more fonts. They launched Canva for Work, targeting businesses. And soon, big brands jumped on board. By 2021, Canva had over 100 million users in 190 countries. People from every industry, teachers, students, small businesses, even Fortune 500 companies, were using Canva. And the investors, they came back, this time offering hundreds of millions. By 2021, Canva was valued at over $40 billion. Melanie Perkins became one of the richest self-made women in tech, but money was never her mission. Melanie and Cliff pledged to give away most of their fortune to charity. They donated the majority of their shares. They proved you can build a global empire and stay true to your values. But Canva's journey wasn't just about success. It was about taking on giants. They disrupted Adobe, they took on Microsoft, and they won. They made design accessible, affordable, and fun. Even Adobe had to change its strategy to compete. Canva proved that you don't need to be a coder to launch a tech company. You don't need a Stanford degree. You just need an idea that solves a problem and the courage to keep going when everyone says no. Today, Canva continues to expand. They've launched new features like video editing, website design, and even AI-powered tools. They're building an all-in-one creative platform for the next generation, and they're not slowing down. From a classroom project to a global design empire, Canva's story teaches us something powerful. Innovation doesn't always mean inventing something new. Sometimes it's about making something simpler. And when you simplify something people struggle with, you can change the world. Melanie Perkins saw a problem others ignored, and she turned it into a solution millions of people love. Canva wasn't just a tool, it was a movement. A movement that made design democratic. And that's why Canva is a techno tale worth telling. If you found this story inspiring, hit the like button right now. And if you love hearing how ordinary people build extraordinary companies, subscribe to Techno Tales, where tech legends come to life. We have more stories coming your way, from startups that defied the odds to tech giants you never knew existed. So hit the bell icon and stay tuned. You don't want to miss what's coming next. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next Techno Tale.